I'm the Thoughtful Gardener, and my friend Cookie. We're taking a little walk this morning, but I thought I would show you some early spring bloomers that are going to be crucial for your pollinators. You can hear the woodpeckers having a great time this morning, but the pollinators are starting to fly because we're starting to get air temperatures above 50 degrees, and that means that they're going to be out looking for early pollen. Now, there's probably not a lot blooming in your garden here in central Pennsylvania. We are just now at the beginning of spring, and so you can see that things are just not typically in bloom, but some of the weeds and some of the native plants are, and I'm going to show you what that looks like so that you can be aware and not pull these weeds. They're essential for these early flowers. So let's take a quick look. The first here is called dead nettle. Now, dead nettle actually has a ton of medicinal properties. You can certainly look up more about that on your own time, but you can see these little tiny purple flowers. I do not pull dead nettle this time of year. I let it bloom because there's so little actually blooming in my garden. Let's go take a look at some other things. This is the harbinger of spring in my garden. It's called winter Anakite, and my friend Louise brought me some from her secret source yesterday, so I'll be adding to this bed. Certainly one of the things you want to think about is planting in drifts. It makes it easier for the pollinators to see the flowers. So definitely, if you can, always try to buy 3 to 4 of a plant that you like and create a drift. Now, I've told you I'm not a purist, and that is true. I do have things in my garden that are not native, and this is one of them. These are Heliobors. They come in about every color in the rainbow, but they're one of the first things to bloom in the late winter, early spring garden. And aren't they absolutely gorgeous? It's going to be tempting to cut them off and bring them in, but I'm going to leave them out for the bees. One of the other things that will start coming up here are perennial herbs. This is my Catmint. And essentially, these herbs are going to play a crucial role in keeping these bees definitely fed. So not to mention that my cats absolutely love this. I will be clearing away the debris here because there's no flowers, but we were talking in my Master Gardener class just this week about cleaning up spring beds. You got to be really super careful because there's still a lot of seeds here available, and there are lots of migratory birds right now. So this is one called Chives, and it will have an early spring flower on it. It definitely will be dividable as well after this season. So I want you to think about planting herbs in your garden that can help support the pollinators. And catmint as well as catnip. And you can see who's here to take a look at that, and that's Miss Scout. They love that I have this blooming, so I just pinched some of this off, and you will see she gets really excited about that. She loves catnip, and that the bees and your early pollinators do too. This is the debris I'm going to let stand right now. These are hollow stems from Goldenrod, and you can see the new Goldenrod is coming up, which is awesome. But it becomes really important to leave these here. Some of your bees are overwintering in these bee hotels. They've drilled holes into these hollow stems and are living in these. So if you clean up your leaves and you clean up these bee hotels right now, you may actually be killing next year's pollinators, which you're going to need if you're a vegetable gardener like I am. So I'm going to encourage you. It's fine to clean up things like your debris from irises or daylilies. That stuff does not have any seeds, and it's not providing any habitat at the moment for your native pollinators. But you can see these seed heads. I've got Joe Pyeweed here, Agastache, and I've left these seed heads standing. Now, why do I do that? Your neighbors may think this looks unsightly. I'm not here for neighbors. I'm here for pollinators to impress them. But these seed heads play a very vital role this time of year for these pollinators, as well as for these for the birds. Specifically, your birds are going to be reliant upon these seeds. It is definitely going to still be cold the next few weeks here. We're going to be down to 25 again in just a couple of days' time. So you can see that I've left my cut coneflower standing, and I've left my asters standing, you can see that new growth is coming in, and that's good. I want to see that. But I have left the Joe Pye weed seeds standing on purpose, guys. You know, we got to continue to feed these little birds. They're starving. In many cases, they've flown a long way, so we want to feed them if at all possible. Hope you guys are having a good day. Take care.